Did you ever get gallstone pain? It is a sudden, sharp, and severe abdominal pain that can be felt in the center of your tummy, just under the ribs on your right-hand side. Gallstone pain can spread to your shoulders and usually lasts anywhere from a few minutes to several hours. And you thought only kidney stone pain was intense? Your gallbladder may be just a 4-inch pear-shaped organ, but it can raise various health challenges when not functioning properly. Gallstones are just one of them. In today's video, we'll be talking all about gallbladder troubles and ways to prevent them. What is biliary colic? How can you prevent gallstones from forming? Is there really a connection between gallstones and weight loss? We'll be talking about all of these and more. Types of gallbladder problems. Before we begin discussing gallbladder problems, let us first understand a bit more about this organ. You have a pear-shaped organ called the gallbladder right under your liver in the upper right section of your abdomen. The gallbladder stores bile, which is a combination of fat, fluids, and cholesterol. Wondering why bile is important? Well, it is the bile juice that helps break down fats from the food you eat. Your gallbladder delivers bile into your small intestine, where fat breakdown happens. All the fat-soluble vitamins and nutrients can now be easily absorbed into your bloodstream. So, now you see why the gallbladder is important. Just like other organs, your gallbladder is also susceptible to disease. Gallstones are one of the most common. Let's discuss all of them one by one. Number 1. Gallstones. You'll be surprised to know how common gallstones are. It is just that they are asymptomatic most of the time. This is why we don't hear much about them, unlike urinary stones and kidney stones. When substances found in the bile juice, like cholesterol, harden, it leads to the formation of gallstones. Depending on the location of these stones, a number of other issues may crop up that we'll discuss in the next section. As we told you before, not everyone who has gallstones will face bothersome symptoms like pain. In fact, experts say around 10% of people diagnosed with gallstones go on to develop noticeable symptoms in the next 5 years. So, what are these symptoms that people fear so much? Let's find out. Signs and symptoms of gallstones. The most common symptom of gallstones is pain in the upper right abdomen, or the center of your stomach. Mostly, people get this pain after they eat foods high in fat, like fried foods. But this doesn't mean the pain can't occur at any other time. The most difficult aspect of gallstone pain is that it is often very severe and lasts for hours. If you don't seek treatment soon, it could lead to other problems like a rapid heartbeat, fever, diarrhea, and itchy skin. People have also reported feeling confused, getting chills, and having a loss of appetite when gallstones were left untreated. In more severe cases, yellowing of the whites of the eyes and skin can happen. In other words, you could get jaundice. One of the most challenging aspects of gallstones is that their symptoms may mimic those of pancreatitis or appendicitis. In any case, you must get a thorough health checkup if you experience any of these symptoms. What causes gallstones? Though the jury is still out on what exactly causes gallstones, experts have laid out a few possible reasons. Either too much bilirubin or excess cholesterol in your bile could be behind this. Concentrated bile due to a full gallbladder is also a probable cause. Let me explain these scenarios quickly. When there is a normal breakdown of red blood cells, a chemical called bilirubin is produced. It passes through your liver and is usually excreted out of your body. But there may be circumstances where the production of bilirubin is excessive due to factors like liver damage. Your gallbladder is also unable to break down this excess bilirubin, leading to the formation of hard stones that are often black or dark brown in color. Too much cholesterol in your bile could also be responsible for the formation of yellow stones. Your liver's overproduction of cholesterol may be to blame for this. The bile juice is insufficient to dissolve such a large amount of cholesterol. Another reason behind gallstone formation is your gallbladder's inability to empty its bile. This leads to bile becoming overly concentrated, causing stones to form. Is there any link between weight loss and gallstone formation? Obesity is one of the risk factors for gallstones, but you'll be even more surprised to know that your honest efforts to lose weight could actually be a trigger for stone formation in your gallbladder. Shocking, isn't it? So, what should you do? Not losing weight isn't an option because it increases your health risk. And why did your weight loss lead to gallstones? What can you do to avoid this? Let's find out. The answer to your gallbladder troubles during weight loss lies in your diet. If you are on an extremely strict diet that doesn't have even a small but necessary amount of fat, it impacts gallbladder contraction over time. It is all the more bad for people who do not eat for a long period of time. This decreases gallbladder contraction and increases your risk of gallstones. Dieting can also cause an imbalance of cholesterol and bile salts in your gallbladder. The concentration of cholesterol increases while the level of bile salts decreases, which could result in the formation of hard stones. So, what should you do? First and foremost, don't rush into weight loss. Instead of going on an extreme diet, eat well-rounded meals that are low in saturated fat. Make sure you stay hydrated throughout the day. As a thumb rule, try drinking 64 ounces of water every day. Stay active and exercise for at least 150 minutes every week. Even walking is fine. And don't forget to get a good night's sleep. It is very important for your physical and mental health. Curious to know how you can lose weight in a safe and sustainable way? You can start by swapping high-calorie junk foods with nutritious meals and cutting thousands of calories every week. Watch this video to learn more. Number 2. Biliary colic. You feel biliary colic pain on the right side of the abdomen, just under your ribs. This is where your gallbladder is located. Biliary colic occurs when a stone blocks the bile duct in your gallbladder. The bile duct is the passage through which bile juice passes from your gallbladder into the small intestine. This condition can happen when the gallbladder contracts. The result is that a gallstone doesn't have enough room to pass through and causes the blockage. It can be one large gallstone or a number of small gallstones behind the blockage. If there is an infection, swelling in the area can also cause pressure. When your gallbladder has trouble emptying completely, the pressure can increase. The pain you feel in the abdomen due to biliary colic is usually dull, but it need not necessarily stay in the abdomen area. Sometimes the pain can spread to your shoulder. When you feel the pain, it can either be sharp or like a cramp, but most of the time, it's constant but mildly painful. Essentially, the amount of pain you feel is proportional to the pressure being put on the bile duct. The pain is usually felt in the evening. The worst of the pain may last about half an hour to an hour at the most. You will have to deal with the dull ache for the rest of the time. Biliary colic pain may not be consistent and can happen intermittently. It will go away once the gallstone becomes free of the duct and goes into your small intestine. Looking for answers on all the latest health and wellness news? Hit that subscribe button and join our millions of followers. Stay up to date on all our great Bestie content. Number 3. Acute cholecystitis. Acute cholecystitis is a condition in which there is persistent inflammation in your gallbladder. A tumor or a blockage can also be the cause. The pain you feel in this condition is like more intense biliary colic pain. The pain would be in the abdominal area and could last for a number of hours. Sometimes the pain can be so severe that you have to go to the hospital for treatment. Your heart rate may also jump up. When your gallbladder contracts, like after a meal, you may see a big drop in blood pressure too. Number 4. Chronic cholecystitis. Chronic cholecystitis is a condition in which the inflammation in your gallbladder lasts for several weeks or months altogether. In some cases, the condition can recur with high frequency. So, why does this happen? What is the reason behind the recurrence of chronic cholecystitis? Experts say Gallstones blocking the bile duct can cause infection. As a result, the walls of the gallbladder start to get thicker, and the duct gets smaller. This makes it difficult for the gallbladder to function properly. If not treated at the right time, chronic cholecystitis can lead to long-term consequences, such as the rupture of the gallbladder, which can be incredibly dangerous to your health. Such cases would require immediate emergency attention. What are some other symptoms you should look out for? Apart from pain in your abdomen, there are other symptoms you can look out for to determine if you have gallbladder problems. Since the gallbladder won't function properly, you will have digestive issues. This would lead to feelings of nausea and vomiting. In cases of gallbladder problems caused by infection, you might also get a fever. Infection can also cause chills. If you ever experience this, consult your healthcare provider immediately. You might also have chronic diarrhea. Your stools will be watery, and the frequency could be 3 or 4 times a day for a month or more. Some might exhibit symptoms of jaundice. Your skin and the whites of your eyes will turn yellow. Are you wondering how you can keep your gallbladder healthy? Our next section provides some insight. How can you prevent gallbladder problems? Prevention is certainly better than cure. There are quite a few ways to make sure your gallbladder keeps working well. Let's find out what these are. Number 1, losing weight gradually. We already covered this in the Gallstones section, but let me reiterate it again because unsafe weight loss is one of the most common causes of gallbladder problems. You need to lose weight to cut down on your risk of getting gallstones. This is a long-term solution that is very effective. People who are overweight may be more prone to gallstones as their cholesterol levels tend to be higher. If you can lose weight gradually, you will reduce that risk. But it is important to note that the weight loss should be gradual and not drastic. People who opt for bariatric surgery or follow crash diets may find gallstones to be a huge problem. This is because even though you may have lost a lot of weight, your cholesterol levels still remain high in your body. The cholesterol present in the bile will have a higher chance of turning into gallstones. The best way to lose body weight is to set a 6-month goal. Losing 5% to 10% of your body weight every month would be healthy. Not only would you cut down on the extra fat, but you would also make sure the cholesterol levels came down. Number 2, healthy diet. One of the best things you can do for your health is to start eating healthy. All those deep-fried snacks and junk food aren't doing any favors to your gallbladder. Eating well-balanced, healthy meals is a surefire way to steer clear of gallbladder problems in the future. Research has shown that there are a few diets that can actively reduce the risk of gallstones. Dietary approaches to stop hypertension, or DASH diet, and the alternate Mediterranean diet were among them. In short, eating plant foods, plant proteins, monosaturated fats, and fish was found to be helpful. Animal products and saturated fats were kept to a minimum. Nutritionists and dietitians recommend eating meals centered around vegetables and fruits because they are amazing sources of antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. Fruits and vegetables are also loaded with dietary fiber, which helps with digestion. Getting enough fiber from the food you eat reduces the chances of gallbladder problems. There's scientific evidence to back this up. Research was conducted to see which foods help reduce the risk of gallstones. The results suggested people should eat foods high in vitamin C, such as broccoli, citrus fruits like oranges, and leafy greens, such as kale. Foods rich in healthy fats, such as nuts and fish, are a good way to avoid gallbladder problems. They lower your triglyceride levels and raise the quality of your bile. These foods also help regulate the contractions made by the gallbladder. Another step you can take to promote the well-being of your gallbladder is to eat meals regularly. This means you have a schedule to make sure that your meal times are regular. There should not be a very long interval between 2 meals. This doesn't mean you have to overeat throughout the day. Instead, try eating small meals at regular intervals. When you have a meal, your gallbladder will empty out. If this happens frequently, then there are far fewer chances of gallbladder problems. Drinking small amounts of alcohol can actually be good for your gallbladder. An analysis of various studies found a link between moderate alcohol consumption and a reduced risk of gallstones. What exactly makes alcohol an enemy of gallbladder stones is unknown, but this doesn't mean you drink indiscriminately. Even if it might help with gallstones in some people, you have to always remember that moderation is the key to enjoying the supposed benefits. Drinking heavily for a long period of time increases the risk of gallbladder problems. Number 3, exercise. I might sound like a broken record when I say that exercising regularly is very important for your health. But it is true. Staying active and exercising daily can indeed reduce your risk of gallstones. The intensity of the exercises is immaterial. You just have to be on your toes and stay physically active. Experts have conducted research to see if exercise could help with gallbladder problems. The results showed that both rigorous and non-rigorous exercise helped reduce the chances of getting gallbladder disease. Experts suggest exercising a minimum of 150 minutes every week is important for you to stay healthy. That comes to just 30 minutes of physical activity on 5 days of the week. When you remain inactive, you are more likely to have a higher BMI, leading to obesity in the long run. Research has already proven that people with a higher BMI have an increased risk of gallstones. Number 4, preventive medication. People who are undergoing weight loss surgeries are at a higher risk of facing gallstone problems. In such cases, your doctor would advise you to take certain preventative medications. There are also some prescription medications that help lower the cholesterol levels in your body. Depending on whether they are safe for you and your requirements, your doctor will prescribe them to avoid gallstones. Number 5, foods to avoid. Just like there are foods you can eat to boost the health of your gallbladder, there are some you need to avoid. You need to limit the amount of refined sugar you eat on a daily basis. This includes fructose and sugar-loaded baked goods, sweets, and desserts. Sugary beverages like soda and chocolate shakes aren't doing your gallbladder any favors either. Fast foods and foods high in saturated fat are understandably a no-no. By foods high in saturated fat, we mean fatty cuts of meat, butter, palm oil, and sausages. Cured meat like salami and pancetta isn't good for you either. Trans fats are already associated with increasing your risk of various health issues, like cardiovascular disease. They are also bad for your gallbladder. Some examples of foods containing trans fat include stick margarine, deep-fried foods, frozen pizza, and refrigerated dough like biscuits and rolls. Non-dairy coffee creamer also contain trans fat. Eating a diet low in fiber also contributes to gallbladder troubles. If you already have gallstones, a high-fat diet can actually increase your risk of painful complications. The fat in your diet will trigger your gallbladder to contract and empty itself. This can be painful if you have gallstones. The gallbladder is just one part of your complicated digestive system. Curious to know what else you can do to boost your digestive health? Let's keep the conversation going with a couple more videos. Shall we? Watch 16 powerful tips to improve your digestion naturally. You can also try our video on the 12 top prebiotic foods you should be eating for your gut. Go ahead, click one. Or better yet, watch both and learn more about your digestive system. Have you ever faced any gallbladder-related health issues? Let us know in the comments below.